What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to feekiflips, the most dumbed down real estate channel on all of YouTube, because if I can make money doing this, then so can you. We are here today. We are in Las Vegas. I am at Ryan Pineda's Wealthy Investor quarterly event that he throws. Wes and I are a part of the all-star program that he has through the Wealthy Investor Education Company. It used to be called Future Flipper. They just rebranded. Towards the end of the video, I'll give a full breakdown on like a review of the event, my thoughts, kind of what happened, who the speakers were, my takeaways, all that type of stuff. But before that, I actually wanted to talk about 75 Hard program, because yesterday I had a fucking day. Yes, I did. And days like yesterday, if you do the program correctly, you guys that have done it know exactly what I'm talking about here. There are certain days where the program really makes sense. And it's kind of funny because those same days where the program really makes sense are the days that just fucking suck. And yesterday was one of those days, so I figured it would be valuable for you guys to hear about that, my experience with it. And so yeah, we can just hop right in. But if you guys have never heard of 75 Hard, it's basically a mental toughness program. Not a challenge, it's a program. It's not a fitness challenge, it's not a fitness program. Becoming more fit is just kind of a byproduct of doing it correctly. It was created by a guy named Andy Frisella. If you guys don't follow Andy, you definitely should. If you are even somewhat interested in business or entrepreneurship or self-development or anything like that, that guy changed my life back when I started following him in 2016 or something with the MF CEO. His podcast now is called Real AF, and they do a few different types of different genres of podcasts within the same show, if that makes sense. But basically, if you haven't heard of 75 Hard, there's a few different phases of it for the entire program. The entire program is called Live Hard, which is compiled of 75 Hard, Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. So they're all a little bit different, but I'm on Phase 3 right now with an asterisk. I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, Phase 3 is a lot. I'll post a screenshot right now of everything that you have to do on a daily basis. And to do the program correctly, this stuff has to be done, obviously every day, no deviation whatsoever. And that's the only way to do it, because if you hear of anyone else doing it like 75 soft, or well, I'm gonna do everything but except for this, or like changing it up,
doesn't fucking count.
And to people with different personality types, that might seem kind of stupid, but when you do it correctly, you really understand why it's written the way that it is and why you have to do it with no deviation. So before I get into yesterday, I'll address the asterisks. So with 75 Hard Phase 1 and Phase 2, the deal is like, if you fail a day, start over that phase. On Phase 3, if you fail a day, you can't start over, because the additional rule with Phase 3 is that it has to be completed in the last 30 days of the calendar year that you started 75 Hard. So for me, I started 75 Hard January, I think 17th of 2022. And so Phase 3 had to be done December 16th through January 17th or whatever. So long story short is I fucking failed Phase 3. Which really fucking sucks, because you can't start over. You have to start the whole thing over. So I've done 75 Hard many times. I've never done Phase 1, 2, or 3. Fucking A, my arm's killing me already. And I fucking failed on like day 6. I'm so pissed about this. Like I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm more pissed about failing Phase 3 than I am on losing money on our last flip. We lost like 40 G's. We got caught holding the bag on one. And I'm more pissed about failing Phase 3 than that. And I'm more pissed about it because I failed on the easiest part, and that was the progress photo. But that's the whole point of the program, is that details matter. And because you've been skipping over the little things in your life, that's why you are where you are right now. So I decided I'm gonna finish out the phase, mostly because of the random act of kindness and talking to a stranger, because I have a huge issue with both of those things. So I like what the program's doing for me. I'm gonna finish it out because I wanna get better at that, but it doesn't count. Phase 3 does not count. Live Hard program doesn't count. And I guess that is just God telling me that you got to do it again. So this year, 2023, I will start 75 Hard again at some point, and then finish all the way through Phase 3 that'll be into 2024. So yesterday was a fucking day. So we flew down to Vegas in the morning, woke up at 4, flight was at 5:40 or something. So it's basically like, rush and get out the door and stuff like that. But this program becomes much harder. I posted this on my Instagram last night briefly, is that like, this shit is not that hard for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But when you throw real life into the mix, like traveling and busy ass days, like abnormally busy days, that's where it gets really, really fucking hard to do. So, you know, with this program, it's really just like, it's a big confidence booster. And that's why it's like a mental toughness program, because you're basically just always proving to yourself, you know, one, I do what I say I'm gonna do, and two, like it gives you kind of a new base for what is possible. Like everyone's fucking busy. Like no matter if you work at the gas station or if you're Elon Musk, everyone says they're busy. Now you have your busy days and you throw all this shit on top of it, and now you kind of have a new base of like busy. And so that's why you get these shifts by doing this type of stuff, is that next time I come to Vegas and I'm not doing the program and like I don't have to do all of these things and I don't have to bring my food and all this stuff, it becomes so much easier, and you remember that base and you're like, fuck, this is easy, like no matter how busy you are. And same with the day-to-day stuff, when you're just slammed all day and like your time management goes to shit and all that, you know, when you have just like a normal busy day, it's like, oh, this shit's easy. Like I remember that one day or whatever. So basically yesterday, just there was basically no way. I knew it was going to be fucked from the start, but it was actually just as I expected. It was fucked. But yeah, the main challenge, if you're doing this shit correctly, is the diet, I think. So with my diet, you know, I order the meal prep. I got some of them sitting right here. I do this every day anyway, so it makes it super easy to stay on track with what, you know, the macros that I should be eating. And the issue when you travel is bringing all that food with you. And luckily I'm only here for yesterday and today, so it's not all that much to bring with me. And granted, buying this type of meal prep is much easier than like last time I did this when we came down here, was like actually meal prepping and then like bringing the big ass containers of food and all this stuff. But the issue I found out last time, you guys, I think I posted a vlog on this on my last Exposing Ryan Pineda video, clickbait title. It's a great story. I've told tons of people this, but real quick, last time, it wasn't last time, but it was almost a year ago now. You know, same thing, I was doing 75 hard. I'm coming to Vegas. I was on like day 74 and 75 when we were coming down. So I was like, there's no fucking way that I am failing this shit. Brought all the food, made it down super late instead of super early like this time, and got up to the room at the Sahara, and there's no fucking microwave. And I'm like, shit, you know, because when you stay at regular hotels, like they have coffee, they have microwaves, they have fridges, all that stuff. But at casinos, they don't have any of that shit because they want you to spend the money at the property. Now back then I had a frozen block of chicken and I had to eat or I fail. So I'm like, fuck, you know, I gotta go get a microwave. So just to recap the story real quick, basically I was gonna go to Walmart, I was gonna buy a microwave, and I was like, dude, I guess I'll just leave it in the room because there's nothing else I can do with it. So I call an Uber, this old lady comes and picks me up, and I was on the phone with her before because I'm a dumbass and I didn't realize that there's like Uber pickup spots at all the casinos now, you know, so I was trying to tell her where I was at, and it was a rush because Walmart was closing in a few minutes and all this stuff. And, you know, so I told her I was going to Walmart on the phone. So she picks me up, she doesn't accept the ride, and she's looking at me in the rearview mirror about to accept the ride, and she's like,
You going to Walmart?
I'm like, yeah. She's like,
which one?
The one on Charleston. She's like,
I'm taking you to a different one.
I was like, okay. Yeah, I figured that one was going to be a piece of shit, but okay. And then she still doesn't accept the ride, and she's like,
How long are you going to be?
And I was thinking like, fuck yeah, like she's going to wait for me. It's exactly what I want. And because I still had to do my outdoor workout and it was getting late and all this stuff, I was like, literally just as long as it takes me to run in, get a microwave, and get out. And she's like,
You need a microwave?
I was like, yeah. She's like,
I got one at the house.
and I was like, okay. So she drives me to her fucking house. I get this microwave out of her garage. She drives me back to the hotel. So I got the microwave from this lady, Janet. So, you know, a couple days ago, I hit her up. I saved her number up. It's like, hey, can I get that microwave? And she's like,
yeah, just let me know.
So had to, that's another challenge. There's some food ready to go. Had to source the local microwave when you come to Vegas with food prep. So, you know, that's just like, not only do you have to pack your food, I got to figure out how to heat up the food while I'm here. And this is still an issue today because now I got to check out, but I still need the microwave for lunch. So I'm going to try to work a deal with the bellman. I used to be valet bell, so I shouldn't say bellboy because that was super fucking insulting when people would call us that. But you know what, they're fucking bellboys. So I'm gonna try to work a deal with the bellboy to like tip and be able to use the microwave in the bell closet or something. I don't know yet. This type of shit that you have to figure out when you're actually doing this program correctly, and you could easily just be like,
I can eat good enough without packing my food.
And I could too. Like, I know I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, I know how to eat right, and basically what the macros are. But the whole point of the program is not doing basically, it's doing with no deviation, so you can improve your base and become better over time. So yesterday, super early flight, knocked out my reading on the plane, did the cold shower before, again, looking back, like I could have woken up another hour early at like 3 a.m. to do one of the workouts, but I didn't. So I get to the airport and I was going to try to, we get in pretty early since it's only like a 45-minute flight. And I was going to try to knock out one of the workouts before the event, but our fucking flight was delayed by 90 minutes. So we land, we go, we check into our rooms. Luckily, they were able to check us in early. Go straight to the event. Was at the event all day. Was coordinating with Janet on lunch to try to get this fucking microwave. I'm up here like still trying to work because I got the microwave. Kyle, our acquisition manager, needed some properties comp because he had to go make some offers. So I'm trying to comp. Wes is calling me. He's like, "Hey, they're doing the 7-figure award. Like, you got to get back down here." I'm like, "Fuck." So I'm like throwing my computer back in my bag. I'm running down. My homie Ray, he had his food with him too. He's like, "You got a microwave?" I was like, "Yeah, here's the room key." So he came up here and fucking heated up his food. So the event was done. Event went a little bit longer. I was out of there at like 6. So at this point, like I still have to do both of my workouts. They can't be done back to back. One has to be outside. I want to go to this dinner because, we're like paying money to be in this program and I want to get the most out of this shit. And so it's like, all right, now I'm back in the room. I don't want to fuck around and waste time and like walk to the gym here because it takes 20 minutes to walk there and 20 minutes to walk back. And same with when I get back, I don't want to waste time like coming back up here after dinner, changing my clothes to go then do the outside workout. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to knock out a fucking workout in the hotel room, post some clips from that right here as well. And then I'm going to Uber to the dinner, even though I've already eaten, just for the networking. I went in my gym clothes to this fucking dinner with investors. And then I did my outdoor cardio on the way back from the dinner for 45 minutes. So I made it as far up the strip in 45 minutes as I could. And then I Ubered the rest of the way back. So it's just like a fucking hectic ass day when you try to do this shit correctly. And yeah, I highly recommend. I'm making it sound like it's horrible, but which it is fucking horrible, but that's like the whole point, is that you do hard shit and then everything else is easier in life. So I just wanted to drop that on you guys, like my experience yesterday. I don't think I'm really leaving much out there, but yeah, it was a day for sure. So today, just had my coaching call with Chris. I'm gonna get the bellboy up here, load up all my shit, try to work that deal. And then I'm going down to the event because it starts in 5 minutes. So I'll post some clips from there real quick as I'm talking here. And then we'll get into what I thought about the event, my takeaways, all that type of stuff. And we are back. It is Saturday. About to do an episode of the podcast. So if you guys want to check that out and hear about how much shit I eat on a weekly basis, you can go do that here on YouTube or Spotify, any of the podcast apps, all that. So real quick review of the Wealthy Investor Q1 event. If you guys saw my video on this, it was a while ago now, it was back in March of 2022. First time we ever went to a Future Flipper event, which is now Wealthy Investor. I had raving reviews about it and I still think it's awesome. I think that events are super important and it's really like the proximity effect, because if you can get around people that are doing more than you, equal to you, it's only going to improve you, your mindset, your business, all that stuff. So running the meetup back home, I'm kind of on the other end of that. And, obviously I do it because I like teaching and we get benefits from running the meetup and all that. But, I'm able to kind of bring up people that are newer to real estate or what have you, and they learn from me. But then when we go to these other events, we're around all these other guys that are doing more than us, equal to us, all that, or even a little bit less than us, but maybe they're doing things in a different way because they're in different markets or what have you. So it's always super powerful just to be able to network with these guys and figure out kind of what they're doing in their business. And that's just the networking side of things. So you can make great relationships here. Just that is worth the cost of one of these events or the programs that you get the events with it and what have you. But then also the speakers. The speakers were really, really good. At the last event, the Q4 event, Alex and Layla Hormozi were there, which was fucking awesome, both of them. This time they had a bunch of great speakers. Cody Sanchez, Jamil, I can't say his last name, sorry. Pace Morby was there. David Meltzer was there. There was like a ton of great speakers. And the whole theme of the event was like future-proofing your business with just like technology coming up and also like recession-proofing your business. So a lot of talk about the market, a lot of talk about recession, a lot of talk about crypto and technology and how all that stuff can change and is changing, will change in the future. So there was a lot of good topics just from all the speakers. So if you are thinking about going to one of these events in the future, I would highly recommend it. The format, if you just go to the 2-day event, they always have like the upsell tickets where you get more. We weren't at that, although I wish I did. For this event, if you bought the MVP ticket, there was like a content day at Ryan's office, there was an entrepreneur day at Ryan's office, and then extra networking time for the 2 days before the actual event. We just went to the 2-day event, so the format for that was mostly just like speakers all day, day one, and then speakers for about half the day on day 2, and then you go into breakout rooms. So this time the breakout rooms are a little bit different. First few times we went, they had broken it out by number of deals you do per year, and that was like the most valuable part to me, especially on that first time that we went, because that was the first time I had ever sat with people that were doing more than me for a few hours, and it was just super like, what's wrong with your business? Talk about it. And then, you know, the issues that you're going through right now are easily solvable by people who have been there before. That's the whole point of these groups and programs and all that. This time it was broken out with basically just all the all-star students, and then like all of the rookie coaching program students, and then like everyone that's not in a program yet. I think they do it that way, or they did it that way this time, just because there's like so many people at the event now. Like it's more than doubled in size since we started going under a year ago. So I do prefer it the other way, just because that was like more actionable and more valuable for us. But the breakouts are still good because like you get a little bit more specific or like tailored information. They're doing Q&As with some of the speakers. Gary Harper was there, which we've already hired. Sharper, his company, the business consulting deal, we hired them after the first event to come into our business and help us out with all that stuff. But like he was in the Q&A, super fire. So yeah, all in all, super good event. Glad we went. It's always kind of a mixed bag when you go, as far as like emotions, at least for me personally, because sometimes you get like super pumped up on what people have to say, or just like inspired and thinking that you can do more. And then other times you get Wes coined this term, the rage-spiration, about like you're inspired, but you're also like pissed at yourself that you're not there yet, or that you just feel like you're fucking up in a big way. So it's kind of up and down. And like for me, I get the rage-spiration. Like on day 1, I missed basically all of Pace Morby's speech and all of Jamil's speech, which I really was looking forward to those two, because I had to deal with some bullshit on a deal that we have at home. So I had to like, you know, go out and deal with this shit for like 45 minutes. And that's what really pissed me off, because it's like, fuck. Like I want to be here and engaged, but this urgent stuff is happening at home and that needs to be dealt with right now. And I don't have anyone to do it, just because we're not there. We're not at that level of business yet. So that's my rage-spiration. That's like, I'm inspired to get there so that doesn't happen again, but it also pisses me off that it did happen and I can't be like doing the education part which is going to actually grow the business in the future. So anyway, long way around to saying you should go if you've never been before. So yeah, I guess that about wraps up this video. I'm gonna do my best to start vlogging more. I still don't have the concept down of like filming while you're doing something and talking to the camera by yourself. That's why I like when, you know, P comes up and films and then we can just like film, but it's been difficult with how busy we've been lately. But we're gonna keep doing videos. I'm gonna keep doing the podcast. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If you got any value out of this, smash that like button, help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you on the next video.